If you want to start pushing for higher invocation Tombs of Amascut runs, you're going to have to be very comfortable killing Wardens P4 when there's only one row of tiles left. The first thing I'm going to talk about is very important and doesn't even have to do with the Warden fights itself, and that's inventory management. You need to make sure that during the fight you're not fumbling around your inventory looking for your ambrosias or potions, or trying to withdraw supplies from the bag. My personal solution to this is that at the very beginning of Wardens, before I start the fight, I will rearrange the bag so that I always withdraw my 2 ambrosias by the time it's Wardens P3. Another way you can do this though is to swap the left click option on the bag of supplies to resupply, which is something you can do on Runelight by holding shift and then right clicking any item in your inventory. What resupply does is it automatically fills up all the potions in your inventory with supplies from your bag. So if you have 1 dose of ambrosia in your inventory, it'll fill it with another dose from your bag. Okay, as for the fight itself, first off, remember if you're using the yellow Karis, one of your highest priorities is keeping your prayer above the amount you need to actually spec. Make sure your prayer is always above 50, and of course you still need to be using the correct protection prayers against either the Krak or Akka, whoever is up. I'll review quickly because I don't know who's going to be watching this video, but depending on what side of the obelisk you stand on in Wardens Phase 1, that affects which boss phantoms spawn in Wardens P3. So I would recommend standing on the east side, and that gives you Croc and Baboon. For actually fighting when there's only 1 row left, the key thing you have to recognize is that the lightning strikes come in 3. So first there'll be 1 set of tiles that darken, and then another, and then another, and then a pause. So what that actually means is that if you can't find an open space where there's no lightning striking, then you can actually just walk back onto a square as lightning strikes, and that it won't hit you. It's a bit hard to explain, so I'm showing a lot of examples as we speak, and that's honestly really all there is to it. If you want to be good at it, you have to be comfortable walking back on a square as lightning strikes. That essentially makes it a safe square. The only other thing I really have to say is that you never want, as a rule, to walk back onto a square you were just standing on, and the reason why is because when the monkey or Kefri, depending on what side you're going, throws a bomb on that square, it's really easy to just walk back into it and get smacked, and that can really cause you a lot of supplies or just KO you outright. So try as hard as you can to avoid stepping back where you were just on. Another thing to note is that if you're using thralls, I'd personally recommend not summoning a thrall on the last row, because the thing is, the shadow under the thrall covers the square, so you can't actually tell if there's anything on it. So that makes it very difficult sometimes if you have a thrall out to tell where you should stand. That's pretty much it for my advice, but I do know that a lot of people like seeing example runs, so here's a bunch of clips of me doing the last phase, and you can take them and learn from them if that interests you.